Famous people who passed away in 1813. Before we proceed, please subscribe to our channel to support us. Edmund Randolf. He was born in August 1753 and he died in September 1813. His age was 60 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was stroke. He was a founding father of the United States, serving as the first Attorney General and later Secretary of the State. He played a key role in the drafting of the United States Constitution and was instrumental in shaping early American foreign and domestic policies. George Climer. He was born in March 1739 and he died in January 1813. His age was 73 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a founding father of the United States, known for being one of the few individuals who signed both Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. He was a leading advocate for American independence and served in various political roles. Samuel Lash. He was born in March 1725 and he died in February 1813. His age was 87 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a prominent American politician and judge who served as governor of North Carolina. He was known for his efforts to reform the state's legal system and for his services during the American Revolution. Augustus McGee. He was born in 1789 and he died in February 1813. His age was 24 at the time of his death, and he died in a battle. He was a United States Army officer who became a revolutionary leader in Texas, playing a key role in early stages of the fight for Texan independence from Spain as part of the Gutierrez-McGee expedition. He died during the expedition's siege of Liberia. Robert R. Livingston. He was born in November 1746 and he died in February 1813. His age was 66 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was an American diplomat and politician who is most notable for helping negotiate the Louisiana Purchase from France. He was a key figure in the United States foreign affairs and also served as a drafter of the Declaration of Independence. Benjamin Rush. He was born in January 1746 and he died in April 1813. His age was 67 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was typhus. He was a prominent American physician and founding father of the United States, known for his advocacy in medical reforms and public health. He was also one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence and contributed to early mental health practices in America. Zabul Pike. He was born in January 1779 and he died in April 1813. His age was 34 at the time of his death, and he was killed in battle. He was an American explorer and military officer who led expeditions in the American West, including the discovery of what is now Pike's Peak. He died during the War of 1812 in the Battle of York, Canada. John Andrews. He was born in April 1746 and he died in March 1813. His age was 66 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was an influential Congregationalist minister from Boston and played a key role in shaping religious thought in early America. He was known for his sermons that addressed the political and social challenges of the time. Abigail Adams Smith. She was born in July 1765 and she died in August 1813. Her age was 48 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was cancer. She was the daughter of John Adams, the second President of the United States, and the founding father. She faced personal struggles throughout her life, including an unsuccessful battle with breast cancer, which led to her early death. Alexander Wilson. He was born in July 1766, and he died in August 1838. His age was 47 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was dysentery. He is considered as the father of American ornithology. A Scottish immigrant, he published the seminal work American Ornithology, which detailed and illustrated a wide variety of bird species across North America, laying the foundation for ornithological studies in the United States. Tecumseh, he was born in 1768 and he died in October 1838. His age was 45 at the time of his death, and he was killed in battle. He was a famous Shawnee leader who united various Native American tribes to resist American expansion into their lands. He was a key figure in the War of 1812, where he allied with British but was killed during the Battle of the Thames. Charles Scott, he was born in April 1739 and he died in October 1838. His age was 74 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was an American Revolutionary War general who later became the 4th governor of Kentucky. He played a significant role in several key battles and later became involved in early American politics, particularly in the formation of Kentucky. John Hector St. John, he was born in December 1735 and he died in November 1838. His age was 77 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a French-American writer and agriculturist, famous for his book, Letters from an American Farmer, which depicted life in the early American colonies and offered early European views of American culture. William Franklin, he was born in February 1731 and he died in November 1838. His age was 83 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was the son of Benjamin Franklin and the last colonial governor of New Jersey. Despite his father's revolutionary ideals, William remained loyal to British Crown during American Revolution, which led to a strained relationship between father and son. Charles Middleton, he was born in October 1726 and he died in June 1813. His age was 86 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a British admiral and politician who served in the Royal Navy during the American Revolution. He later became a key figure in naval reforms and supported the abolition of the slave trade in Britain. Granville Sha, he was born in November 1735 and he died in July 1813. His age was 77 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a pioneering British abolitionist and one of the founders of the Society for Effecting the Abolition of the Slave Trade. His legal work helped establish freedom for slaves who arrived in England, and he was instrumental in the creation of Sierra Leone. Henry James Pye, he was born in February 1745 and he died in August 1830. His age was 68 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a British poet who served as United Kingdom's Poet Laureate. His works often celebrated national events and classical themes. He was criticized for his lackluster style but was a notable literary figure of his time. James Wyatt, he was born in August 1746 and he died in September 1830. His age was 67 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was carriage accident. He was one of the most prominent British architects of the 18th century, known for his neoclassical and Gothic revival design. His works include major projects. Francis Fane of Shaftesbury, he was born in December 1752 and he died in November 1813. His age was 60 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a British politician and landowner, known for representing Dorchester in the Parliament of the Great Britain. His political career spanned several decades, during which he contributed to national debates on governance and public policy. Pedro Doo Portugal. He was born in January 1754 and he died in January 1813. His age was 58 at the time of his death and he was killed in battle. He was a prominent Portuguese military leader and nobleman. He played an important role in defeating Portugal during the Napoleonic Wars and was highly regarded for his leadership and service to the nation. Louis Bdeia. He was born in August 1764 and he died in January 1813. His age was 48 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a French general who fought in both French Revolutionary and Napoleonic Wars. He earned distinction for his leadership in numerous campaigns, including the battle in Italy and Germany, and was a key figure in Napoleon's military success. Louise Conta. She was born in June 1760 and she died in March 1813. Her age was 52 at the time of her death and the reason for her death was undisclosed. She was a celebrated French actress in the late 18th and early 19th centuries, best known for her performances. Her ability to captivate audiences made her one of the most popular stage actresses of her time. JeanBaptiste Basak. He was born in August 1768 and he died in May 1813. His age was 44 at the time of his death and he was killed in battle. He was a marshal of empire under Napoleon Bonaparte, playing key roles in numerous battles across Europe. He was a trusted commander in Napoleon's army, and his death in 1813 marked a significant loss for the French military during the Napoleonic Wars. Jduok. He was born in October 1772 and he died in May 1813. His age was 40 at the time of his death and he was killed in battle. He was a close confidant and trusted general of Napoleon Bonaparte, serving as Grand Marshal of the Palace. He played a key role in both diplomatic and military operations during the Napoleonic Wars, before being fatally wounded in battle. Theodore Corner. He was born in September 1791 and he died in August 1813. His age was 21 at the time of his death and he was killed in battle. He was a German poet and soldier who became a national hero for his patriotic poetry and bravery in battle during Napoleonic Wars. His collection of war poetry inspired many and solidified his legacy as a symbol of resistance. Alexandre Theodore Bongia. He was born in February 1739 and he died in June 1813. His age was 74 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a French architect celebrated for designing Paris Stock Exchange building. His work played a significant role in shaping the architectural landscape of Paris in the late 18th and early 19th centuries. Jacques-Thomas Sarraut. He was born in August 1765 and he died in July 1813. His age was 47 at the time of his death and he was killed in battle. He was a French general who fought in many key battles during the Napoleonic Wars. He was known for his tactical brilliance, but he was ultimately killed during the Battle of Victoria in 1813, marking a key loss for the French army. Lifi Félicité Sonag. He was born in March 1763 and he died in July 1813. His age was 50 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a French abolitionist and politician who played a crucial role in the Haitian Revolution by abolitioning slavery in the French colony of Saint-Domingue, modern Haiti. He is considered a controversial but significant figure in abolitionist history. William Birchie. He was born in December 1744 and he died in February 1813. His age was 68 at the time of his death and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a German-Canadian painter and architect who contributed to the development of early Canadian settlements, including founding of York, now Toronto. He is also remembered for his portraits of key historical figures in early North American history. Gerhard von Scharnhorst. He was born in November 1755 and he died in June 1830. His age was 57 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was wounds from battle. He was a Prussian general and military reformer, credited with modernizing the Prussian army after its defeat by Napoleon. His reforms laid the groundwork for army's later successes, but he succumbed to wounds sustained in the Battle of 1813. Jean-Andoche Junot. He was born in September 1771 and he died in July 1813. His age was 41 at the time of his death, and he took his own life. He was a French general and diplomat who served under Napoleon Bonaparte, known for his service in Portugal. His mental and physical health deteriorated later in life, leading to his tragic death. André-Joseph Busf. He was born in November 1758 and he died in August 1813. His age was 54 at the time of his death, and he was killed in battle. He was a French general who fought bravely in the Napoleonic Wars, known for his leadership in various military campaigns. He was killed in action during the Battle of Leipzig in 1813. Edmund Martin van den Marsan. He was born in November 1767 and he died in September 1813. His age was 45 at the time of his death, and he was killed in action. He was a French general during the Napoleonic Wars who played a significant role in several military campaigns. He died in action at the Battle of Leipzig. Friederike Brie. She was born in April 1752 and she died in April 1813. Her age was 60 at the time of her death, and the reason for her death was undisclosed. She is remembered for her romantic association with Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, who met her during his youth and immortalized her in his early works. Jean-Victor Marie Moreau. He was born in February 1763 and he died in September 1813. His age was 50 at the time of his death, and he was killed in action. He was a prominent French general who initially supported the French Revolution, but later opposed Napoleon. He was mortally wounded at the Battle of Dresden. Donatien Marie-Joseph de Vimier. He was born in April 1755 and he died in October 1813. His age was 58 at the time of his death, and he was killed in action. He was a French nobleman who served in the American Revolutionary War. He helped in the American struggle for independence by providing military assistance. He was mortally wounded in the Battle of Nations and died 3 days later. Christophe Martin Wieland. He was born in September 1733 and he died in January 1813. His age was 79 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a highly influential German poet and writer during the Enlightenment, known for his work Oberon and for advance in classical German literature. John Craigie. He was born in 1757 and he died in November 1813. His age was 56 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a Scottish political figure who played a significant role in the financial affairs of the government, particularly in connection with the Scottish Enlightenment. Nicolas François Congo. He was born in February 1770 and he died in November 1813. His age was 43 at the time of his death, and he was killed in action. He was a French military officer who distinguished himself during the Napoleonic Wars, and he was killed during a military campaign. Antoine Augustin Pontier. He was born in August 1737 and he died in December 1813. His age was 76 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a French pharmacist and agronomist who is credited with popularizing the potato as a staple food in France. His contributions to food science were significant during his lifetime. James McGill. He was born in October 1744 and he died in December 1813. His age was 69 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a prominent businessman and philanthropist in Montreal. His donations to education led to the establishment of McGill University, one of Canada's leading institutions. Carl Frederick Sty. He was born in 1738 and he died in March 1813. His age was 75 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a Danish artist known for his classical sculptures, which contributed to cultural development of Denmark in the 18th century. David Amsel Mayer. He was born in September 1755 and he died in August 1813. His age was 57 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a Danish businessman and financial advisor to Danish government. In 1780, he became the first Jewish member of Grosser Societet. Magnus Jansson. He was born in October 1760 and he died in August 1813. His age was 52 at the time of his death, and the reason for his death was undisclosed. He was a prominent Norwegian merchant and political figure whose work in trade significantly impacted the economy of Norway during his time. Thanks for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Have a nice day.